Hi, in this video we're going to be talking about the disk drill tool, which you could use to make backups of your hard drive for recovery purposes. So it does other things as well, but we're just going to be talking about making a disk image for recovery purposes. So let's say your Windows drive is starting to die. If it's a spinning disk, for example, maybe it's giving you disk errors or making some kind of clunking noise, or even an SSD could start to have issues, and you want to back it up before it fails, and that way you'll be able to restore your files as needed once you replace the drive. All right, so you might think you could clone the drive and save your data that way, which is, of course, is an option. But the problem with that is cloning software sometimes will get stuck on the bad sectors. So if your drive is having some issues in a lot of bad sectors, it might get stuck and fail on the clone. And so it's going to try and read the corrupted spot over and over again to ensure that the disk clone is perfect, which it's not going to be able to do. And then all this thrashing about, when the read write head for like a physical drive, it's going to have a lot of heat and might even cause a failing drive to head crash before it's even done. So disk drill, on the other hand, so this is an imaging tool. So it's designed to be merciful, for lack of a better word. So if it hits a bad sector, it notes it, drops a zero, and then moves on immediately. So this will prioritize speed and safety over a perfect bootable copy. All right, then you're thinking, well, maybe I'll just copy and paste my files over to another drive and back them up that way. So this is going to cause a lot of seeking on the drive. So once again, going back to a spinning disk, when you copy a folder this way, the drive head has to jump around to the file system index to see where the file is, and then jump to the data sector to grab it, and then jump back to the index to the next file. So all this jumping back and forth is a mechanical suicide for the drive. So it's going to cause drive failure if you're already having a problem. And then once again, using disk drill, so this will read a straight linear line from first block to the last block, and the drive head moves slowly and steadily across the platter once. So this is the least amount of physical work that the drive could possibly do. So if you're still on an old spinning disk, this might be the best way to go about it. And like I said, if you're on an SSD drive, this could still be helpful as well. All right, so we have our Windows drive here. So it's an 80 gig drive with about half of it free. And then we have our backup drive here. So I've already done a backup, but we're going to show you how to do it so you don't have to sit here and watch it. All right, so let's open up disk drill. All right, so this shows our C drive and our E drive. So the Windows disk and the backup disk. All right, so you can see there's other tools in here that you could use, data protection, smart monitoring, and so on. But this video is just about the backup process in case your drive is starting to die on you. All right, so what we want to do is go to byte-to-byte backup, pick our drive here, and then click on Create Backup. All right, so you could save it as a DD, disk file image, DMG if you're using Mac, or even an ISO file. So you want to use the DD option if you're going to be using this program to get your files out of it. And then you could decide where you want to put it. For format, probably better off using bytes. Then you could leave this default. Then you click OK. And you can see here there's not enough space, and that is because I already have the image here. So it's 83 gigabytes here for this C drive image. So once you clicked on OK, then it would just show you kind of a graph going across until it fills up, and it's going to take some time. So that's why I created it beforehand. All right, so once you have your disk image made, what you want to do, you go back to the devices section here. Then down at the bottom here, there's an option to attach a disk image. And there is our file right there. And I can see we have our DD file here. So you can click on it up here and search for lost data, but they recommend you click on the actual partition with your data, which is the basic partition here. And now we're going to click on search for lost data. All right, so we're not just looking for photos and stuff, so we're looking for everything. So we're going to do the universal scan, which will find photos as well. All right, so this is going to scan the entire drive and break it down into categories here. So this will take a few minutes here, so I'm going to pause the video and then we'll be back when it's done. Okay, so the scan is complete here. So it tells you how many files it found and so on. All right, so you get this message too. While we found everything we could on it, there's a good chance disk drill could find more deleted data if the whole disk was searched. It will take more time, but may be worth it. So I know this is the only partition with data on it, so I'm not going to worry about that. All right, so now you can see it's broken into categories here. So this is not the most straightforward thing. So you may have to do a little research when you're using it if it gets a little confusing here. All right, so we have our categories here and then similar categories here on the left. So let's say pictures, for example, kind of breaks it down. But it's not just going to show you a basic list of all the pictures in one place. So we have deleted or lost and then reconstructed. So the deleted or lost, you could think of that as your primary search area, and that relies on the file system itself, like NTFS or FAT, to preserve original names and directory structures. And then reconstructed, on the other hand, so this is like a secondary forensic area which uses file carving to find data patterns, and original names are replaced by generic numerical IDs. So that's what I mean when it gets a little confusing here. All right, so if we branch out here, here's our JPEGs, and we have our groups. And so this is finding a bunch of stuff we don't care about, Adobe Fireworks. And then group 2, same type of thing here. So I just like to go up to here to deleted or lost. And then you can see we have our folder structure, and we could go into, let's say, the user folder, pictures. And then we have our pictures here, like so. And then you can see the preview. And then you can see the recovery chances. I don't think this is too accurate because these should be all fine because this is a perfectly fine drive that I'm testing with. And if you can see the preview, you should be able to get the file back for sure. Then you could just select the ones you want and click on recover. And obviously you want to recover them to a different drive. And then we have some filters up here. So if you want to filter by recovery chances, the date, file size, the type, and then you could show all files by default, deleted or lost, reconstructed. You could hide duplicates to narrow it down, and this will narrow it down too if you uncheck this to show hidden system files. All right, let's check out documents here. So you can see here there is no Word document, for example, docx, or Excel files, for example. But if we do a search for it up here, now you can see it adds it to the list here. So this kind of triggers Distrill to reclassify these items from other or archive to the documents view. So not sure why it does it, but it's just one of the things that you got to know about, I suppose. And then we have the same thing here, deleted or lost, like so. So this doesn't have Excel on it. It's supposed to give you a preview even if it doesn't have the app on it, like a generic preview, but it doesn't seem to do it on this computer. But it could be, based on what type of file it is. And you can see these have a high recovery chance compared to the other ones. Then we have our reconstructed section here. And you're going to find these too. So I don't even know who Patrick is, but so it must be an author for one of these Excel files. So it's pulling the name from the metadata. So keep that in mind too. So once again, you're better off going to deleted or lost if you want to kind of browse the file system. And then we could do the same thing for docs. Then we have the same type of situation here with the author names. And then we can find actual real documents that are deleted or lost. All right, if we go back to dashboard, it'll take us back to here. Then, of course, we have the other categories, archives, zip files, for example. So these are all just generic ones here, not necessarily stuff we need. Like so. All right, so if they're not files that show up here in the default list, I would just suggest searching for the extension, or you could search for the actual file name itself, and then see if it'll trigger it to add it to the list here. Then, of course, we have other as well. Once again, these are not ones we care about. If we go here, see we have some PowerPoint files there, PDFs, old doc versions, copies, shortcuts, and so on. All right, so let's try a little quick restoration here. Let's try this one here. You can see when you click on it, it'll highlight the selected path, so it's not going to be doing this whole folder here. That's the one with the check mark, so it's got to go through this whole thing here, users folder, documents, and that file name there. All right, let's click on recover. We'll recover to our backup drive here. Let's do a new folder here. And there is our file in our recovered folder. All right, that up here we have some options here. Files, folders, tree view, icon view, show or hide the preview panel, basic search box. If you click on home here, it's going to take you back out to the main screen and you're going to have to do a rescan. So keep that in mind if you do that. All right, so let's actually do that real quick. And then when you're done, you could right click on your DD image here, eject it. Now it's removed from the program. All right, so once again, make sure you have a backup drive that's different from your Windows drive, assuming you're doing this for your Windows drive. Go to the byte-to-byte backup, pick your disk. You could do the whole disk or just part of the disk if you know it's the only partition you need. Click on Create Backup, pick a destination, and then when it's done, come back to Storage Devices, attach your disk image, and just look for the DD at the end, and then decide if you want to scan the whole thing or if you know what partition you want to scan, just pick that one. Do the search, and then you'll have the results. And then, like I said, you're going to have to do some filtering and searching to probably find the files you need. Or if you know where the folders are that contain your files, you could just navigate right to those folders and restore them from there. All right, so I'll put a link in the description for Disk Drill, and you could try it out for yourself. All right, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.